So in today's video, I'm going to be covering gold and why gold could be getting ready for another really big leg to the upside to around say 3,000. Also silver's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. We actually had the big flush down. I believe the slingshot move back to the upside is about to get started on the silver market. Also the Nasdaq has actually come down to the 50% level and my long-term level of support. We could be getting ready for a really big turning point as well too. The Dow Jones is also sitting up quite nicely for another move to the upside, and the Russell to me is holding really strong for another really big move to the upside. Also, I want to be covering the actual Bitcoin market, what's going on with Bitcoin. Oh, look at that beautiful pattern there. Also the fear and greed index, and what the fear and greed index is actually telling me about what's coming next. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's actually start off with the stock market. Then I'll get into gold and silver. Then also I want to share something with you when it comes to the Bitcoin market as well too. So let's actually get into the stock market. Now with the stock market traders, we're seeing that we're looking at the Nasdaq. Look where the Nasdaq is right now. There's a few things happening with the Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq, it's really interesting that we've actually had the drop down to the major level of support. And so to me, I really believe this drop we're seeing right now is almost over. This drop we're seeing right now is almost over, and I believe we're getting ready for another really big move to the upside. And the big thing is that we can see this big drop down through here. And so therefore we can see we can see that. We also can see that looking at this level, we also got the 50% Fibonacci level. So we have this level through there. And as you can see, look at this here, right? So we have this level of support around the 19,000 level, as you can see, and we're almost at this level here. So we are in a very big booming bull market, and we are getting very close to, I always like to use the weekly charts. And if I take everything off the screen, you can see in the past, whenever we've gotten a movement down towards the moving average, it's been enough pullback before we get going again. We're getting the same thing right now, a bit of a drop to the moving average. So I believe we're getting ready to have another move to the upside. And if I bring up the fear and greed, this is the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index is actually setting up. Let me see it. Right, setting up right now. We're now at fear. Okay, so we're now at fear. We're getting through here fear. I'd prefer to see this drop here to be to the extreme fear. If I go down through the levels of we've got neutral for the momentum. So stock price is actually still greed. Okay, neutral, fear. Market volatility is definitely still fear. We're getting the put, the call options down through there as well. So we're getting the extreme fear through here as well, on the market volatility, and the safe havens extreme fear, and then we've got junk bonds greed. So really there's only a few indicators that's keeping the whole fear and greed index up. I think maybe if we got a little bit more downside to come, then that would really push this fear and greed index into getting very close to extreme fear, and then I believe the turning point would possibly come from that there. So that's what we're seeing through there on the Nasdaq. Let's go look at the S&P 500, and we're getting pretty much the same type of thing. We're getting a very nice good low, we're getting a higher low through here, and we're getting a higher low through here. So we're definitely getting that type of action happening right now. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to start to see maybe the S&P 500 could have a bit more downside to come. I'm especially looking at, say, the Fibonacci levels. So to me, looking at that level there, we have that strong level up here. I don't believe that's going to hold, because I believe that this drop is probably going to get down to at least the 50% level. So maybe, just maybe, guys, we've got one more little push on the downside on the S&P. The Nasdaq has already made a really big drop. So maybe we're going to get a little bit more push on the downside on the S&P before we start to see that next move to the upside. Let's go look at the Dow Jones. And if I show you what's happening on the Dow Jones, we can see, look at this here. So we can see that we've actually had all this level of support. So we had all this really deep sort of deep TA around this level of support, resistance through here, and we have this 40,000. We can see we had a very big move to the upside. We've come back down, found support. There's a really good, powerful short-term setup that's happening here. So for you guys that trade the intraday charts, we could be getting a nice breakout soon. If we get a breakout here from an intraday perspective, there could be a nice, good intraday setup there happening for you guys that trade intraday on that through there. So traders, if you do need some help with your trading, I'm running a 90% off sale to my Master Trader Lab, and you can see that link in the description below. Let's actually go check out now the one that, for me personally, this is the one that I'm still in right now, which is the Russell. I got in on the breakout. I'm still in right now. There's no need for me to hold on, and the Russell's actually holding quite nicely. We can see the Russell actually just holding here strongly through here. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still in the Russell right now myself. And I do see that we're probably likely to get another really good solid move out of the Russell. We're holding through here, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Russell pop to the upside and then go for a run to the all-time high level and probably even break that from there. So it looks like the Russell's still holding here quite nicely, and we're getting very, very close, possibly real soon. I always look at my moving averages on my charts. I use a couple of moving averages, so maybe, just maybe, we're getting ready. We're waiting for this moving average to catch up. So maybe we're going to continue sideways for another maybe week, before we get going again. But I definitely want to be short the Russell. I'm definitely rolling the Russell right now, so I definitely see it does look like to me we're likely to get a nice move up there when it comes to the Russell market as well. Let's go look at actual gold and silver for the day. And this is the silver market. Silver did actually get a big flush down. This is what I've called all the time, guys. So if you've watched my videos for the last month, you would know that one, I said I'm getting ready for a flush down. It's exactly what happened. We got the flush down. Now it's holding. Now I'm expecting this to be a slingshot type of a pattern. So everything's working out exactly the way that I'm seeing it, guys. Got the slingshot, got the breakdown. Now we're holding here. So now I'm expecting to see something like this to come out of this, all right? We start possibly up like through that, like through there, and then a breakout, and then away we go again. So really, really, really powerful pattern when it comes to the silver market. We can see that $29 level there, guys, is really strong, really powerful, holding that level there, or that below that level there. Once we get back above, that's going to be that false breakout. And this is a classic slingshot type of pattern that happens in a very big bull market. You get this flush down first, and then you get the move to the upside. So it's a slingshot type of a pattern. Moving on now through to gold, though. Gold is doing something completely different, right? So gold right now is still in a very strong upward trend. We're still in a very strong... The thing about trend analysis is that when we're looking at the trend, when we're looking at the trend analysis of the market, we have what? We have higher lows and higher lows. So the higher lows, as long as it keeps making higher lows, we're in an upward trend. What can also happen as well too is that if we have this low through, let's say we have this low through here, what can happen sometimes is that it'll run up, it'll come back down to the same low but not break it, and then it'll continue back up again, right? I've seen this so many times. So as long as we don't break the low, we're actually getting ready for more upside to come, okay? So we see this here, and the reason why I bring that up is here. If we see this low through here, look at that low through there. So what happened with this one here is we had an overall move up, came down, found support, came down, but it didn't break the low, did it, right? So the market, the buyers are still holding up through here, right? And then we go through this bit of gyration period through here. We're still holding it, and then bam, we come up, make a higher high. Now we're probably coming down to make a higher low, and we're probably getting ready for another move to the upside real soon out of the gold market there, guys. So, and the last one I want to show you guys in today's update is the good old Bitcoin market, because I think the Bitcoin market, guys, is definitely showing a lot of potential for a really big move to come. And I was sharing this with my coaching clients today, and when I was gone through the markets. If you're interested in becoming a coaching client, guys, then that first link in the description there, you can fill out the application form and I'll call you. The thing is, looking at Bitcoin, I know there's a lot of boxes here, isn't there? Let me take everything off the screen here. I really don't like to see too much on the screen here. So let me do this here. Now, let me blow this up here. Let me take the moving average off. Again, I don't really, for me, it's not, The most important part is what the chart's telling me right now anyway. So as you can see, guys, we're getting this level. We've got this see how you got this false breakdown? So the false breakdown and then the slingshot. So the slingshot pattern to me has started. The slingshot pattern has already started to me. And now we're breaking up and now we're just holding here. So slingshot, the end is near, slingshot has started. And I do believe that once we start to really break above, because look at this here. Right, look at this here. All resistance all through here. Once we actually had that, look at that resistance. So what's going to come once we start to get a really good strong break above, say 70,000? What do you think is going to come? A really big move, right? Because as you can see, this is what Bitcoin does, right? This is what Bitcoin does. It's another one of those, right? What is it? What is that? Another one of those. It's the market goes up, then it goes sideways for a long time, then we go for another big move, then we go sideways, we go up, then we go sideways, we go up, and then we go. You see the phases, right? You see the different phases overall that the market goes through. It's gone through one of these energy building phases. So to me, it looks like Bitcoin could be getting ready for a really, really, really big move to come out of the markets.